Peppa Pig's magic wand.
It's night at the Pig family's house and in Peppa and George's room. They are both in their pajamas, lying in their beds. Mummy Pig enters holding a colorful book with an illustration of a fairy on the cover.
Story time before bed. My little piggies.
What story are we going to hear today, Mom?
Do you know a row? GRR.
Mummy Pig laughs and sits on the edge of Peppa's bed, opening the book.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story about fairy godmothers.
Wow, do they have magic wands?
Yes, Peppa. With a touch of the wand, they can grant wishes. But do you know what's more important than the wand?
What could be more important than magic?
The kind heart of the wearer. A true fairy godmother not only needs a wand, but also good intentions to help others.
Peppa listens attentively to the whole story, her eyes shining with curiosity. George hugs his stuffed dinosaur, looking sleepy.
Z. Dino. Sorrel. GRR.
Mummy Pig, after finishing the story of the magical fairy who helped the princess of the Crystal Kingdom, kisses Peppa and George on the forehead.
Good night, my loves.
She turns off the light, and only the moon shines through the window. Peppa slowly closes her eyes. Suddenly, the scene changes. Peppa opens her eyes and realizes she is in a different world. The ground is covered in bright pink grass, and there are twinkling stars floating around. When Peppa looks at herself, she notices that she is dressed in a beautiful fairy dress, has sparkling wings, and is holding a sparkling magic wand.
What? I became a real fairy.
She spins in the air and giggles excitedly.
Now I can do magic.
Peppa raises her wand and points it to the sky.
I wish that it rains lollipops.
Little colorful candies start falling from the sky, and Peppa laughs as she picks one up to try.
This is the best thing in the world.
Before he can make any more wishes, the image begins to blur. Soft sounds begin to echo.
Peppa, Peppa, it's time to wake up.
Peppa wakes up to sunlight streaming through the window. She blinks a few times and sits up in bed, remembering her dream.
What an incredible dream.
She yawns, stretches, and goes downstairs. Outside, the day is beautiful. The blue sky is cloudless. Peppa goes out into the yard and gives a big sigh of happiness.
Good morning, world.
As you walk across the lawn, something catches your attention. Among the flowers, something is hidden, a tree branch. Peppa runs over and picks him up from the floor.
What?
She lifts the branch into the air and opens her eyes wide.
A magic wand.
Making wishes fulfilled, Peppa looks around, trying to understand how the branch, or better said, her new magic wand, ended up there. Peppa holds the wand tightly and thinks for a moment. So, smile.
What if it's my fairy godmother's wand?
Peppa looks at the wand and decides to test a wish.
I would like to hear a song.
For a moment, nothing happens, but then little birds start to sing in the tree branches.
It really works. I'm a real fairy.
She holds the magic wand with a sparkle in her eyes, excited about what just happened.
I really am a fairy godmother.
She looks at the wand once again, thoughtfully, and then says out loud,
What more can I want?
She jumps up excitedly and then has an idea.
I wish that my best friend, Susie Sheep, would come and play with me.
Peppa closes her eyes and waves her wand in the air. At the same moment, she hears a familiar voice coming from behind her.
Peppa, Peppa.
Peppa opens her eyes and sees Susie Sheep approaching her house with a big smile on her face.
I came to play together.
Oh, it really works.
Peppa runs up to Susie, holding her wand.
My magic wand. I just wished you would come play with me, and here you are.
But my mom said I could come play today anyway.
Peppa pays no attention and smiles, convinced that it was her magic wand that made it happen.
I'm a real fairy, Susie. Let's make more magic together.
The two start playing in the yard, jumping and laughing. After a while, Peppa puts her hand on her belly.
I am hungry.
I'm hungry too. Why don't you wish the wand something for us to eat, Peppa? If it really is magic, it will work.
Good idea, Susie. I wish for a delicious snack right now for both of us.
As soon as Peppa finished fulfilling her wish, Mummy Pig opens the door and calls the girls.
Peppa, Susie, the snack is ready.
Peppa and Susie are very surprised.
I knew. This wand is truly magical.
But your mom was already preparing Peppa's snack.
No, Susie. It was magic. You're jealous because the magic wand is mine.
That's not true, Peppa.
Mummy Pig then calls the two once again, and the girls enter the house. And the table is already set with sandwiches, fruit, and juice. The bad desire. George is already seated and grabs a sandwich, but Peppa and Susie run to the table excitedly.
GRR. The snack is delicious.
Peppa prepares to grab a sandwich, but George reaches out and takes it before she does. They look at each other.
This is my... No, George. I saw it first.
The two start pulling each other's sandwich. Peppa then remembers the wand and angrily says,
I wish George would disappear.
She waves her wand dramatically, but nothing happens. George continues to hold the sandwich, looking at her blankly.
GRR. What?
Peppa waves her wand again.
I wish George would go away.
Nothing happens. George simply takes a big bite of his sandwich. Mummy Pig looks at Peppa with a patient smile.
Peppa, magic wands don't grant bad wishes.
But all other wishes came true.
Was it really magic? Or did things happen by coincidence? Furthermore, people are important, especially if they are your family. You shouldn't ask them to disappear. I know you really like George and you don't want him to disappear just because of a sandwich, right?
Peppa pauses for a moment, thoughtful, but then shakes her head.
Yes, Mom. I like George, and I really don't want him to disappear. But I still think that everything that happened that I asked for was because of the wand's magic.
After snack, Peppa and Susie return to the backyard, still playing with the wand.
What if you want something bigger?
Good idea. I wish. A huge princess castle right here in my backyard.
She waves her wand. Nothing happens. The two wait. Nothing changes.
Also,
I think your wand stopped working.
it can't be.
The last wish. Peppa tries one more wish, but nothing happens.
I think she's discharged, Peppa.
Suddenly, they hear crying coming from a house.
Wow.
The two run to see what happened. George is in the middle of the room, crying and pointing to an empty space on the floor.
My dinosaur is gone.
Peppa then looks around. The toy dinosaur is really nowhere to be found.
Oh no. Don't worry, George. I'll sort it out. I wish the dinosaur would come back.
She waves her wand, but nothing happens once again. George cries even louder.
Dinosaur.
Peppa looks at Susie worriedly and then runs outside, trying to think of where the toy might be. Suddenly, she trips over something on the floor.
Ah?
She falls into a sitting position and looks back. George's dinosaur is right there.
Here he is.
She gets up, excited, and realizes that she dropped her wand on the floor. She bends down to pick it up, but when she touches the wand, crack! It breaks into two pieces.
Oh no. My magic wand broke.
She looks at the dinosaur, then at George, who runs to get the toy and hugs it happily.
Dinosaur.
Peppa then begins to understand something. She looks at Susie, then at Mummy Pig, who is watching from the doorway. Mummy Pig smiles softly, as if she knows exactly what Peppa is thinking.
So, oh, I'm not a real fairy?
Mummy Pig approaches and crouches down beside her.
Peppa, sometimes things happen because people around us do good deeds, and sometimes because we're lucky. But true magic isn't in a wand. It's within us.
Peppa looks at George, who is still hugging his dinosaur.
I didn't need magic to find George's dinosaur. I just looked.
Mummy Pig kisses Peppa on the forehead.
Exactly.
Peppa smiles, feeling happy despite her broken wand.
Maybe. I don't need a wand to be special.
The broken wand. The sun is already setting, turning the sky orange and pink. Peppa watches the broken pieces of her wand on the floor with a sad look on her face. She takes it and sighs.
Oh. My magic wand broke. Now I can't make wishes anymore.
Susie Ovelha approaches and puts her hand on Peppa's shoulder, trying to comfort her.
But, Peppa, you realized the magic wasn't in the wand, didn't you?
Also? What do you mean, Susie?
Think about it. You made so many wishes today and they happened, but was it really because of the wand?
Peppa blinks and thinks for a moment. She remembers the moment she wanted to hear music and the birds started singing, when she wanted to play and Susie appeared, and when she was hungry and her mother called for a snack.
Well, the things I wanted did happen, but maybe they would have happened anyway.
Mommy Pig, who was listening to the conversation, approaches with a loving smile.
Exactly, Peppa. You realize that things didn't happen because you held a magic wand. but because the world around you is already full of surprises and good coincidences.
Oh. I didn't do real magic.
She looks at the broken pieces of the wand with a mixture of surprise and disappointment.
Good. Depends on what you call magic. What did you do when you realized George's dinosaur was missing?
I wished he would appear.
And then?
I went looking around the yard. And then, I stumbled upon it.
Did you see that? It wasn't the wand that made the dinosaur appear. It was you, Peppa.
It means, I made a wish. And then I made it happen.
That. You didn't need magic for good things to happen. You just believed and acted.
If the true magic is within me, then, I can still be a fairy.
She stands up excitedly, holding the broken pieces of the wand as if they were still magical.
I wish George gets a magical hug.
She twirls the pieces of her wand in the air, as if casting a spell, and then runs to George, hugging him tightly.
Peppa.
Hee. I wish Susie had a delicious cookie.
She twirls her wand in the air again and takes a cookie from the table, handing it to Susie.
Wow. This is the best magic of all.
Hey, I wish that Mummy has a big magical kiss.
Peppa runs up to Mummy Pig and gives her a firm kiss on the cheek.
Oh, Peppa, this is, without a doubt, the most special magic in the world.
Peppa then looks up at the sky, where the first stars begin to appear. The moon shines in the sky, and a light breeze ruffles the leaves on the trees. Peppa still holds the broken pieces of the magic wand, but now with a peaceful smile on her face. George hugs his dinosaur. Susie Sheep finishes her cookie, and Mummy Pig watches everyone with affection.
So, Peppa, what did you learn with your magic wand?
Peppa looks at the broken wand in her hands and smiles.
I learned that real magic isn't in the wand.
Oh, no? So where is the magic?
Hee. This inside us. When I wanted to hear music, the birds sang. But birds always sing. I just didn't notice that because I wasn't paying attention.
That's right, Peppa. Many special things happen around us every day.
And when I wanted to play, Susie appeared. But that was because I wanted to play, and when we want something, sometimes things happen in a special way.
And also because I love playing with you, Peppa.
Hey? And when I was hungry and asked for food, Mom called us for a snack. But it was snack time anyway.
Exactly. Life is already full of magical surprises, Peppa. We just need to know how to look at them.
Peppa thinks for a moment, then looks at George, who hugs his dinosaur.
But then, why is my desire to make George disappear? No, did it work?
Good. Because wishing something bad for others never brings happiness, right?
Yeah. And I wouldn't want George to really disappear.
Dinosaur.
Hey? I'm glad he stayed here.
Peppa then holds up the broken pieces of the magic wand and smiles at them.
I don't think my wand needs repairing anymore. Because I am the real fairy.
She waves the pieces of her wand in the air and pretends to cast a spell.
Oh.
Everyone laughs. Suddenly, George yawns loudly and rubs his eyes.
Peppa. Sleepy.
Mummy Pig smiles and opens the front door.
I think the magic of sleep is coming. Let's all go inside.
Peppa looks up at the starry sky for a moment. Then, close your eyes, take a deep breath and smile.
I wish that everyone has a magical night full of happy dreams.
She twirls the pieces of the wand in the air once more. Suddenly, Daddy Pig appears at the door, already in his pajamas.
Ho ho ho! This wish will come true soon.
If you enjoy Peppa's incredible universe, you know you're in the right place. So, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos. Okay, we're leaving 2 really cool videos for you to explore a little more of Peppa's world with us. Until later.